Happy Friday. Welcome to our mastermind. If there's anybody that you want to jump on, give them a text really quick. We're going to go through some reminders really fast and some of our stuff that we start our Zoom off with. So happy Friday. Gratitude. Gratitude is, more and more and I say this all the time, every book I read, every time I see somebody speak, every time somebody talks in business, they talk about gratitude. So gratitude opens the door to the power, the wisdom, the creativity of the universe. You open the door through gratitude. So, when you bring that into your life, true gratitudes of the things that, you think on a daily basis, small things that you think about, it really can change the whole trajectory of your day. Okay, so you guys, this is our first week of April, and remember how we talked about in the very beginning of the month how it was really important to help people in the first 2 weeks get to NLC qualified and get 3 or free qualified. Those are the things that we were focusing on. So I want to show you that this very first week of the month, these are the people that are already NLC qualified for the month, and they're not stopping. This is just the beginning of the month. So I want to fill up this page by next week to, double and triple that, especially everybody out on this mastermind. We're the leaders of the group, so we want to make sure that we are NLC qualified by the second week of the month. That way we don't have anything to worry about at the end of the month. We can help our people do the same thing. So congratulations to these people, and job well done, already in the club. And another quick reminder about Thursday, April 13th, where we'll be doing purging of our system of brand partners. So it's a great time to call people, connect with them, let them know about our health and wellness and what's going on, and reminding them that if they get an ADO, any ADO, their spot will be saved in our system, okay? Which I think is really a powerful thing. People, as I said all the time, we meet people where they're at, and every ADO counts, every single one. If you haven't seen the packaging of our wellness product, this is it. I'm sure this new week there's going to be a little bit more marketing about what it is, and it opens for us on May 1st. We've already been contacting people, letting them know that this is happening, and in conversation, it's a good idea to talk about this with everybody, not just your team, but your customers. It's a great time to call your customers, let them know what's coming, keep in touch. Okay, so this week, yesterday, today, we're in a Miriam Leadership Academy in Manhattan Beach, and some of our team is down there, and it's for senior directors and above, and they're having them all over the United States. And we're lucky enough this weekend to have Danny Gasme and Karen DeSantis is hosting, and it's a wonderful event. And, it was so inspiring yesterday because selfishly, I was looking at the training and I was thinking to myself, wow, our mastermind group is right on track. We are right on track with the company. We are talking about and training and doing the things that this NLA is discussing. We talked about yesterday implementation, and I was telling Caroline that many, many years ago when Robert and I started in the mortgage business, we were at a seminar in Lanai, Hawaii, and there was 100 people across the United States that came to this seminar because it was, can you imagine 25 years ago, this seminar cost us over $10,000 to attend. And the seminar this weekend, I think, cost us $22 or something. So put that into perspective. It cost us $10,000 to be with the top 100 elite mortgage people across the United States. And you know what? We weren't elite at all. We were just starting our business. We had no idea what this would mean to us. We didn't know. We were going to try to figure out, boy, is this an industry that we can stay in? Robert was actually thinking, I don't even know if I'm going to stay in the mortgage business. But we got to do roundtable meetings and go into sessions with people that were making over $1 million a year 25 years ago in the mortgage business. And one of the gentlemen was kind of like a Jeff Olson type. His name was Greg Frost, and he actually lives and does his business where Jeff Olson is from in, I don't know where they are. They're in New Mexico, I think. And so I spelled implementation wrong. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so he had the group of people, and he was literally telling us everything to do to be successful like him, from exactly the way his system was, how he did his business, what his marketing was, every single thing he did to become $1 million producer. And I raised my hand and I said, I'm just curious, why are you giving us all your information? I mean, we're your top competitors. I mean, don't you feel nervous that you're like giving us everything that you do? And he goes, no, I don't feel nervous at all, because I know that there's only 1% of you out of these 100 people that I'm sharing this with, there's 1% of you that will implement something. You'll implement maybe one thing that I give you. And it really struck me that implementation is really the key. And so for all of us on this mastermind, Amanda yesterday poured into us just amazing ideas on how to have conversations with people and how to, expose people with questions. And I was thinking to myself, how many of us are going to implement that training? Because that to me was one of the greatest trainings, ask great questions. I hear it all the time. I try to implement that into my daily life, but it's such a simple thing. And Andrea Unfried was really great yesterday, because I was in the seminar. She posted those questions, those notes of Amanda's on our page. So if you're curious about that, we also posted the recording, but those questions are on our page. And Danny talked about visualization. Remember at the beginning of the month, we said, write it down, write down where you want to be, write down where your team wants to be, find out who the people are on your team that want to do something. Here we are, we're in the first week of April. We're ending it, okay? The seventh day. So we've got 3 weeks, you guys, to really get to where we want to be and help people get to where they want to be. So let's visualize this. We talked about calling customers, and doing things that make us raving fans. Why people want to do business with us. They want to do business with you because you have good customer service, write personal notes, connect. Retention is compensation. I love this because, and these are the things, you guys, I wrote down from yesterday, which is all the stuff we've talked about. Why you want to build your customer base and your brand partner base and keep them getting the ADO is how you build your residual income. This was a really big one. And when we started out in the business, I remember it took us about 6 or 7 months to start our own market party. And when we started our own market party, we were not, we had never done a market party before. We never spoke in front of people before. We didn't know, how to do it. It wasn't taught. But what we did do is we showed up at a lot of different market parties. We showed up everywhere we possibly could to learn from other people, to watch what they were doing, to see what their story was. And when it was time for us to build our market party, that's exactly what we did. We just told our story. It was very natural. And of course we were nervous. But I really recommend to you that if you're in a marketplace and there's no market party and you want to start one, make sure that you're doing real results parties. Make sure you're in the homes of your brand partners. Make sure that you're doing that. But a market party is there to be supported by your brand partners. You don't want it just to be a place where all the brand partners come, but without a guest, but you want to be there to support each other so that when guests do come, you're there for yourself, and you're there for your guests, and you're there for your brand partners and other brand partners. It's a great place to really have a business meeting and have that vibe. But what I loved about yesterday was that we really trained on the etiquette of a market party. And we're going to do that on this Zoom. We're going to do that on this mastermind. The etiquette of a market party is super important, okay? And we talked about, when you invite somebody and how it should really only be an hour. It should not be longer than an hour. And the stories, and the testimonials, we practiced testimonials yesterday, just like we do on this mastermind. And we need to do more of it because I think it's a super important part of this business. We need to get better at recognition. There's certain people on our team and on this mastermind that are always posting on our team page. And I know that when you're on Facebook and you have, you're trolling around and stuff, if you have a story or some sort of recognition about somebody on your team, post it on the team page. People need to see what's going on. Post it on the Epic page. This is where we get our inspiration, and we want to recognize people. We want to share success, okay? you know, we talked about it on April, the 1st of April, when we started our month. We talked about how many RRPs can we get in our team. You do 2 personally, and then go to your people who want to schedule 2 parties. Guys, this is the key to your business, is real results parties. So if you haven't scheduled your own 2 personal parties, do it today. And if you can, go out and talk to some people on your team and find out where they want to be this month. Find out how, you know, if they can have their own 2 personal parties, and who on their team might want to have 2 personal parties. I guarantee you this, if you get a significant amount of events going, whether 1 person comes or 2 people come as guests, doesn't really matter. It just means we just need to be doing those activities, okay? And have fun. Just have a good time, you know, don't take it so seriously. When you think about it, when Caroline and I were coming home last night from the event, you know, I said to her, isn't it unbelievable that it's Thursday, we get to go to a leadership conference, and then afterwards we get to go out for a drink and have a meal, and then leisurely come home. And yeah, we're exhausted from the day because we got so much great information, but boy, oh boy, could you imagine if you had to like go to a job and you wouldn't even have the time to go to a business seminar that was going to help you in your life and pour into you all this stuff. I mean, when you really think about it, you guys, the amount of time that you put into your Nurium business with what you get from it. And we talked about how, you know, when you build up your team and how residual income will happen for you, whether you are working that day or not, if you want to go to the beach or you want to, you know, I am blown away by the whole experience. And, you know, even if I'm not making the money that I want to make right now, it doesn't really affect me, because I know that it's there and I know what it means. And so I'm going to go after it. I'm going to go after it. And so for me, the activity is, I got to have as many real results parties that I can myself, and I got to help as many people as I can in my group to do the same thing. So that's really what was so awesome, was this group on Zoom every single day, Monday through Friday. We talk about this stuff all the time. The key to this group and to helping other people is implementing what we have. Implementing the tools that we talk about, implementing the ideas that we come up with everybody. That's the key to the success of this group, which will then be the key to implementing that in your own team. And it's simple, you guys. It's not hard stuff. It's not, you know, gonna be in your pages of history as, oh my gosh, that was really difficult. Having an event, having a party, having a sit down, telling a friend about what you've got here is not difficult stuff. So that's what I wanted to share with you. And I've got to literally jump in the shower and get there, because we're going to be trained today by David Bird. And so what I wanted to remind everybody is, we talk about this every day, Get Real Conference. And I know a lot of us on this Zoom have already made our plans. The key to the success of your business is to get everybody on your team to go to the conference. The reason why is because the energy and the information and the experience is different than anything that you could duplicate. You know, it's the one time every year that you have an opportunity to show what Nurium is about in a bigger way, and that there's leadership there to really help you be that third party, where you have Jeff Olson and you have Deborah Heights and you have Mark Smith and you have a lot of the top leadership of the company training you. So that's a place where you want to bring everyone you possibly can. And now's the time to really get on that bandwagon and really, you know, get that message across and broadcast to your people and the new people coming in why that's so important. And of course, Epic is going to be having 2 events there for just our team, which is awesome too. So that's really our Zoom today. And I know that I went through it pretty quickly, but I just wanted to, you know, congratulate each and every one of you on this Zoom. You show up every day. And I do want to say something that I was telling Caroline last night, because we were talking about, you know, moms and daughters and things like that. And my daughter Alex called me yesterday, and she was super excited about the fact that she had been a part of something at her school. And the person who was in charge, she had said, look, I'm going to come and I'm going to help mentor the kids and I'm going to help do this. And he said, well, we've heard that before. You know, most people say they're going to do that, but then they don't show up. And Alex said, well, you know what? You don't need to worry about that with me, because my mom has told me that the most important thing in life is to show up every day. And so I will be there. And I was like crying. I was so unbelievably thrilled that my daughter actually listened to me. I had no idea. So Caroline was saying, you know, they listen, they do listen. And so I say that to each and every one of us on this Zoom, you know, just the fact that we show up every day, just the fact that we are engaged, just the fact that we're doing the, you know, the activities makes this a huge differential for each and every one of us. So don't give up on that. Definitely don't give up on that, and help the people that are in your team to do the same thing, to show up and be excited about showing up and be excited about what's going to be happening for them. So I really appreciate you guys so much. This is the first week of April. I hope that you guys have planned out your month, that we are going to have a bigger list on NLC qualified next week, and we're going to have a bigger list on 3 or free. Remember, if you can get your team 3 or free qualified, you are not going to believe the rank advancements in your team. And this is really a test to all of us to see how that works. I promise you that if we can really engage people in getting 3 or free qualified and NLC qualified, you're going to see a difference in the rank advancements of your team. It's going to be amazing. And of course, if that happens, you're taken care of. You don't need to worry about yourself. So with that, I know we usually do questions, but I honestly have got to jump in the shower and get out of here so that I can be on time, because Karen DeSantis is going to start the meeting with or without me. So I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Annie.
Thanks, Annie.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Annie.
Thanks, Annie.
Thank you, Annie. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.